This is the FREESKY 2000W electric bike, the Swift Horse Pro, a full-suspension fat tire e-bike with a modern, aggressive stance. The frame is aluminum, the tires are 26 by 4 inches with a dual sport tread, and the front end uses a beefy double-shoulder hydraulic fork that looks like it was built to take hits. The color is a clean blue-gray with black accents, and the cables are routed neatly. The LCD display sits high and easy to see in daylight, and the NFC Smart Key system adds a slick touch. Swipe to unlock, tap to lock, or punch in a code. The bike ships with a rear rack and full fenders, a bright 800 lumen headlight, turn signals, and a brake light, so it looks ready to ride day or night. The overall feel is sturdy and planted, with the kind of heft that tells you it's built for rough terrain. It's not a light bike, but it feels solid in a way that inspires confidence. From my experience, the first thing you notice is the power. The BAFANG rear hub motor is rated at 1000 watts nominal, with peak output up to 2000 watts, and it puts out 130 newton meters of torque. On trails and gravel climbs, it digs in and pulls without drama. I rode it up long, punchy hills where mid-level e-bikes start to fade, and the Swift Horse just kept pushing. The brand claims up to 35 miles per hour in pedal assist and about 20 miles per hour on throttle alone. On open stretches with pedal assist, it easily moves into fast territory, and coasting downhill, I saw speeds that made me glad I had 4-piston hydraulic brakes with 180mm rotors. In my opinion, those brakes are a big reason this bike feels safe at speed. Lever feel is firm, stopping power is smooth and predictable, and fade was not an issue on long descents. Key features that stood out to me include the 48-volt 30-amp-hour Samsung Cells battery, which is a big 1440 Wh pack. The company quotes up to 120 miles in pedal assist, depending on conditions. Range always depends on rider weight, terrain, wind, and how much you lean on the throttle. I'm an average-sized rider and mixed pass levels with some throttle on rolling terrain. I ended the day with plenty left in the tank after a long ride that would have drained smaller batteries. If you use lower assist on flatter routes, you can stretch it impressively. The 3A charger had me back from near half to full in just a few hours. The ride feel is comfortable. The full suspension takes the edge off roots, potholes, and washboard sections. The fork is lockable and adjustable, and the rear shock smooths choppy trails without turning the bike into a wallowy couch. Those big tires add a layer of cushion and grip, especially on loose or sandy patches. Handling is stable and predictable. It's not a quick, flickable bike, but it tracks straight and holds a line even when the terrain gets messy. On pavement, the dual sport tread rolls better than a true knobby, and the bike feels composed at higher speeds. The 7-speed drivetrain with a twist shifter keeps cadence manageable when you're climbing or sprinting. It's not a road racer setup, but it matches the motor's sweet spot well. I had a few concerns going in. Weight was one of them. At around 80 pounds, this is not something you want to carry up a walk-up or hang from a ceiling hook every day. On the move, the mass actually helps stability, but off the bike, it's a handful. Another thought was whether it would be too much for casual city rides. If your daily plan is cruising bike paths at 12 to 15 miles per hour, this kind of power is probably overkill. That said, if you ride in fast-moving city traffic, need to keep pace with cars between lights, or climb big hills daily, this power becomes a safety feature. From my experience, it absolutely holds its own in traffic, and the lights, horn, and signals make you more visible. I also wondered about the setup. Most of the assembly is straightforward, but I did find the instructions a bit light. Watching a quick setup video and doing a once-over on bolts, brakes, and derailleur indexing made a big difference. After that, it was dialed. What I like most centers on how it performs off-road and on rough city streets. The motor is a standout. It doesn't surge or feel twitchy. It puts power down in a controllable way that makes technical climbs easier. The range is excellent for an e-bike in this class, which translates to fewer charge cycles and less planning anxiety. The brakes are serious, which is exactly what you want on a 35 miles per hour capable machine. The suspension makes long rides less tiring. The NFC key system is genuinely convenient. I tapped to unlock, hopped on, and rolled out in seconds. The display is readable in sun, and the Type-C port for charging a phone is a thoughtful touch. The included rack and full fenders are a bonus if you commute or carry gear, and they save you the chore of finding parts that fit. It's perfect for riders who want a powerful all-terrain setup that can handle steep hills, dirt, snow days, and longer mixed-surface rides without babying the battery. It's also a strong option if you ride in a city where traffic moves fast and you need the acceleration to merge in the brakes to stop short. I'd recommend this for someone who values power and comfort over featherweight handling, who has room to store a larger bike, and who wants a ready-to-ride package with lights, rack, and fenders already sorted. There are a couple of trade-offs to keep in mind. The weight makes it tough to lift and transport without a hitch rack rated for heavy e-bikes. If your building has stairs or no elevator, plan around that. The price reflects the bigger battery, premium motor brand, and suspension and brake spec, so it won't fit every budget. Also, depending on where you live, there may be local speed and classification rules for e-bikes, especially if you use higher assist levels. Use the bike settings responsibly and be aware of your area's regulations. In conclusion, this is a confident, fast, and comfortable fat tire e-bike with serious torque and a battery that encourages ambitious rides. Key features like the BAFANG motor, the 48-volt 30-amp-hour Samsung battery, the full suspension, and the 4-piston hydraulic brakes make it feel like a complete package. In my opinion, the Swift Horse Pro delivers more power and range than most riders will ever need, and it backs that up with stability and solid components. From my experience, it climbs like a champ, cruises smoothly on rough streets, and stops with authority. I'd recommend this for riders who want to explore trails on weekends, commute across hilly neighborhoods during the week, and prefer a bike that feels planted and dependable at any speed. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or your own ride notes in the comments. Thank you for watching.